word, we ask you this now. We ask you this now, the idea of being free. The idea of being free, so moored in your idea of what freedom must be, so moored in your idea of what freedom must be. Freedom from debt, freedom from debt, freedom from worry, freedom from change. Freedom from change that you do not wish, must now be replaced by a higher idea, freedom from what has been, freedom from what has been, or what you believe reality, or what you have believed reality to be. When we claim you, and you claim yourselves, and you claim yourself, and we call it the upper room, and what we call the upper room, we are lifting to a strata of vibration. We are lifting you to a strata of vibration where all things may be made new, We will not have the time to explain as we wish. We will not have the time to explain as we would wish, but we will tell you this. The act that you are about to engage in, will in fact support you in realization, will in fact support you in a realization of who and what you've always been, and a realization of who and what you have always been, beyond what you could conceive of, but how you align at this level. As an individual act is an individual act. The soul is yes in charge. But the monad, or the divine self as you, in its expression, once sung into being, will always be present, and indeed available to you, When we tone through Paul, we make a sound that is not always pleasant. All we are really doing is claiming a common field, beyond the resistance some of you hold, When we come to this, we will warn you, and when we come to this, we will warn you. So if you wish, you may sing along. It is recommended, or plug your ears yourselves, We take the prior attunements. When we take you through the prior attunements, this is to support the ones that will follow. It is to support the ones that will follow. You may say this now if you wish. I am word through my body. Word, I am word. I am word through my vibration. Word, I am word. I am word. I am word through my knowing of myself as word. Word, I am word. I know who I am in truth. Say this, yes. I know what I am in truth. I know how I serve in truth. I am free. I am free. I am free. Paul, when we count to three. When we count to three, please make the sound. We instruct through you. Now one. Now two. No. I am in the upper room. You may say this. I am in the upper room. I have come, I have come, I have come. Behold, I make all things new. It will be so. God is, God is, God is. Now, when you lift to the upper room, which may be done as simply as speaking in intention, I am in the upper room. I am in the upper room. I see you from the upper room. I see you from the upper room. I see you in the upper room. I see you in the upper room, which is the better expression, which is the better expression and the truer one, because from the upper room you lift what may be held in the lower field. You lift what may be held in the lower field by nature of co-resonance. By nature of co-resonance, the vibration you hold is indeed altered. If you wish to go back downstairs, if you wish to go back downstairs, you may choose to. If you are given reason for fear, and you accept the reason, you will likely go back downstairs rather quickly. If you become angry, seek recrimination, act in pride, or greed, you will find yourself there as well. Now you must understand what is occurring. Your humanity is indeed precious. It is not being revoked or released. What is being occurred, what is occurring or being occurred is a transmutation of vibration, a transposing of energy to a higher pitch. The claim, I am in the upper room, is a claim of the true self, the announcement of being present here. I've come, is the Christ itself, universal self, eternal self, true self, or monad, announcing its purview, the Christ itself, or the monad itself, is expressed at this level of vibration. This is why you're in the upper room. To move to what we call rearticulation, Rearticulation is the manifestation of the monad, as form, as who and what you are, I know who I am, what I am, and again, how I serve. Each of you who says the words, I have come. Each of you who says the words, I have come, is in agreement to this. It is powerful and catalytic. But nothing happens that will harm you. Because it is the divine self. In agreement to the soul, in agreement to the soul, that is an expression, and manifesting at the level it can hold. You don't throw one from darkness into light, with such rapidity that he or she may go blind. We teach in attunement, and in gradation. The claim, behold, I make all things new, is the claim of what is seen from the upper room, The vantage point you hold, from this level of tone, claims rearticulation, all that is seen from here, from all that is seen from here. When we say these words to you now, we are saying them to each of you, and we are saying them to each of you. We are claiming you in a light. We are claiming you in a light and in agreement, to what can only be true, Underline the word only. We will say these words now upon your behalf. We know who you are in truth. We know who you are in truth. We know what you are in truth. We know how you serve in truth. You are free, you are free. You are free. You are free. You are in the upper room. You have come. You have come. You have come. And now we say this to each of you. Allow yourselves to be seen by us. Allow yourselves to be seen by us. Allow yourselves to be witnesses of the truth. Allow yourselves to be witnessed as you can only be in truth. Behold, I make all things new. Allow yourself to be seen, to be resumed, resung, resung, re-agreed to as who and what you truly are, beyond any idea you may have held. beyond any idea you may have held about what you should be or must be, about what you should be or must be. Now we say this to you. Now we say this to you. It will be so. It will be so. It is the claim of truth. It is the claim of truth and dominion upon what has been claimed for you, upon what has been claimed for you, and by you, the true claim. The true claim, the most powerful claim we will ever offer you. The most powerful claim we will ever offer you is invoked this way, is invoked this way. God is, God is, God is. God is, God is, God is. You are reclaiming the power of the divine. You are reclaiming the power of the divine as presence, where it has been refuted or denied, where it has been refuted or denied, where you create separation, where you have agreed to separation, where fear holds sway. Where fear holds sway, you claim the divine. You claim the divine into expression, because it is always there, but obscured, denied through humanity's belief, and false belief that one can be separate from her source, his source, if you prefer, his source, if you prefer. We will now say this to each of you. We will now say this to each of you. We know who you are in truth. We know who you are in truth. And as we know who you are, we invite you to see the world. We invite you to see the world beyond the lens of fear, beyond the lens of fear, beyond the lens of war, beyond the lens of war, beyond the need for recrimination, beyond the need for recrimination and shame and punishment and punishment. We invite you each to imagine you are standing upon the world, that you are standing upon the world in a great circle, And as you say these words, to the world and all who dwell upon it, to the world and all who dwell upon it, you are claiming truth. You are claiming truth because it is the divine as you, who knows this to be so. Who knows this to be so? You may say these words to the world and all who dwell upon it. You may say these words to the world and all who dwell upon it, and all who dwell upon it. I see you in the upper room. I see you in the upper room. You are in the upper room. You have come. You have come. You have come. Behold, I make all things new. It will be so. God is. God is. God is. The claim God is reclaims the divinity that has been denied by fear, and humanity's agreement to fear, to reclaim the inherent divine. To reclaim the inherent divine from the upper room. From the upper room is the key to the kingdom, And what the kingdom is, is the realization of the divine, as all things, the energy that expresses as all things, has one source, God is the teacup, God is the child, God is the dead one over there, and the one birthed over there as well, The divine expresses his manifestation. Through your agreement to it. Behold, I make all things new. The claim of the receding of the things you've seen in fear, the reclaiming of the things you've seen in fear, recede in light, reknown in the upper room, Humanity lifts everything to the upper room, when it stops denying God. This is not a religious teaching. It is a truth teaching. What is true is always true. This has always been so and will always be so. We have the ability now. We have the ability now to support you, because the field and the plane you express through, because the field and the plane you express through is a shift, in the imagining, and the imagining of what can be, will soon be proven, to be beyond what you had imagined, beyond what you had imagined. So take the opportunity. See God where God has been denied. See God where God has been denied. If you are called to high action, honor the true self. Honor the true self. It will not teach you in fear. The true self knows. The small self does its best through thinking. The small self does its best through thinking, but when you truly know, you are called forth. And whatever action is required of you, you must know in God. Not override the free will of another. Because that is not permitted. But to see anyone as of God, is to bring them home. We say this to each of you now. We say this to each of you now. We see you in your beauty. We see you in your beauty. We see you in your right to be, in all you have known and may know. And as we say these words, we say what is always true. We say what is always true. You are free. You are free. You are free. You are free.